Hello students, KTHM College, Department of Political Science, class MA, MCom, MSc, subject Human Rights and Human Value. So students, we are going to learn now the fourth unit of this subject, which is role of advocacy groups. So students, we have done with our first unit, second unit and third unit. We are going to learn this fourth unit. This is the last unit. So student, we will start our lecture now. Students, the role of advocacy group. So we will start with the introduction about this chapter, about this thing. So the realization of human rights mostly depends upon the promotional activities initiated by the nation state at every level, especially on the articulations think globally and act locally. The slogan was given by Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, think globally and act locally. And subversions in their commitment to engage in all human beings bring in a number of issues onto center stage that leads to denial of guaranteed rights and the struggle to their restorations. So, in order to help people whose rights are in contrary, covenanted, so civil society and a number of advocacy groups have emerged at global and national levels to defend the rights of victims. So these advocacy groups popularly referred to as human rights defenders. So in view of their increasing number, active participation individuals and groups, many a times the agency of state question both of the legitimizations, their characters' role in the argumentations of rights and status of fights on behalf of others. So, students, a number of such incidents and problems encountered by advocacy groups and individuals across the world. The United Nations adopted a declaration on rights and responsibilities of individuals, groups and organs of society to promote and protect universal recognition human rights and fundamental freedoms in 1999. So, in order to extend legitimizations to the advocacy groups, the resolution was recognized were that everyone has the right individually and in association with others to promote and to strive for the protection and realization of human rights and fundamental freedoms at the national and international level. So students, this is the introduction of role of advocacy groups. So what is the role of advocacy groups? What is the role? So human rights and are older than the human history. So as natural rights, they are the part of nature. Every society is one form or the other has advocated them since the evolution of humanity. So however, they have undergone a revolutionary change with the declaration of Magna Carta in 1215, followed by a number of texts. A final shape was given to them after the adoption of the Charter of UN and Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In spite of long history, revolution, changes in the articulations, most people in the world are fully unaware of their rights. Advocacy groups plays a vital role to prevent their abuse and to help victims of human rights to seek justice within the guaranteed political and legal structure at every level. So there are some professional bodies which work for the advocacy group. For means the role of the advocacy groups are are from this professional bodies. The first and the most main is the media. So the media means medium of communication. It is a broad term to represent print and sorry audiovisual broadcasting, writing visually with pictures, reporting news and etc. Accordingly, media represent newspaper, magazines, television, internet, etc. So human rights are age old. However, in our country, the exact content of rights and the remedial mechanism are known to only a section of a population. So the rights which citizens enjoy vary depending on the economic, social, political and cultural developments prevailing in each society. So, in this context, media will play a vital role in the promotion, protection, and realization of the human rights. So, media being a powerful medium will give a publicity or to violation of human rights, publicity to organization and individual involving in the promotion of human rights education. It can educate people, suggest the way and means to address the violation. So, in the contemporary area, with the help of the technology, media will bring experts from and nook and corner of the country or a world on any issue through live discussion and render the way and means to counter violation in the realization of human rights. It has the ability to mobilize people and bring the means direct direction of the justice. A number of people who constantly violate human rights, including the head of the nation around the world, being both of justice through the extensive coverage and reports of the media. At the same time, being a fourth estates of means the fourth pillar of the state, it needs to exercise the restraints and coercion. The freedom exchange to press for its contribution role to the promote values of the democracy, the human rights should not be misused. It need to be adopt a self-regulating mechanism to present the help truth of help victims of human right to seek justice. It should take care of content of the report, language needed to be decent, employed only be qualified and trained reporters, exercise restraints in publishing matters, reports, photos and creating tensions or sensitivity amongst various sections of the society. So in India, media plays a vital role in olden time. However, it was limited to few as a medium of communication and other aspects were written on the palm leaf. So it was in ancient times, it was written on the palm leaf. So the modern medium of print communication was started during the days of British East India Company. So James Augustus Hackey, an Englishman, started the Bengal Gazette on January 29, 1780, and also popularly known as Kolkata Advertiser. The East India Company was recognized freedom of speech and expression as a basic right. It took several steps to prevent the printing of Bengal Gazette, including final closing it down in 1787 and sent back him to the England. However, the initiative of the Hackey laid found for free press in India. Okay, so in 1780, India Gazette, Calcutta Gazette in 1784. After that, Bengal Journal leads other parts of the country to start printing media in the country. So the first paper published in India language is said to be the Kannada. The efforts of the German led to publications of the newspaper by main Mangalaru in 1843. So this led for the evolution of the newspaper in many other languages in the country. So the oldest paper is the Amrit Bazar Patrika in Bengal. It's still popular paper in Bengali. Okay, students. So this is how India also has many masses of media. How it is popular. Okay. After that, the second one is role of lawyers, lead legal aid. So the legal professional plays a vital role in promotion and protection both of the human rights. Though it is argued that the promotion and protection of human right is very one's field, legal profession and professional of law plays a vital role in development of principle and application due to their close connection with the law. So the legal professional includes lawyers, judges, legal officer, legal advisor, professors of law and anybody who practices laws and works for the promotion of human rights. So lawyers, though they are interpretative skill, temper the principle of law to evolve new principle at the forefront in advocating the promotion of human rights. Though there are extensive legal debates, writings, and through practices in condemning the repressive movement which violate human rights in the contemporary era across the world. On the number of occasions, lawyers and other legal professionals played an crucial role in the right, so prohibitions or laws on trafficking and etc. Apart from means prohibition of tutors, after that argumentations of women rights. Many are that. From apart from lawyers, other legal professionals such as judges, legal advocates, and professors of laws also play a vital role in tempering the principle of laws and stand to oppose the policy of state which threaten the enjoyment of human rights, especially during the emergency, war period, and in other emergency, we will say. So, students, we will say legal aid is another important platform to realize the promote human, which promote the human rights. So though there are attempts in the France in 1858, 1851 to introduce legal aid, it was USA which led to seed for the free legal aid with the establishment of the first legal aid society in New York. Okay, so in India since 1952, attempts were started to address an issue of legal aid through conference, seminars, after that Conference of Law Minister, Law Commission of India in 1960. Certain guidelines were framed to offer legal aid and were initiated in a number of states through the law boards. So the same was guaranteed under Article 14 and 21A of the fundamental rights that equality before law and legal system need to be promote justice to all the equal opportunity be provided. So this is the second most important bodies, professional bodies of the role of advocacy group. After that, it is very important educational institutes. So educational institute also plays a vital role in promotion and protection of human rights. So education being a potential tool for metabolism of society or individual or institute. The framers of Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Article 26(2) entrusted the duty of editors to bring in social order to foster human personality, understanding, strengthening, and the promotion of human rights. The World Conference of Human Rights is a Vienna Declaration and program of action. So it is very important how we know how education institutes are important. So in India as well, Indian philosophy from ancient to modern times educates common brotherhood without any kind of discrimination and develop a duty conscious citizens. However, the inventions of foreign rules in middle and modern periods changed its philosophical basis and introduced the rights to the education on the name of a modernization. So, nevertheless, the cherished ideas of freedom movement led to the constitutional framework to reintroduce its ancient ideas to value oriented duty bond society through the constitution. So it is very important of educational institutes also very important in the advocacy group. After that, there is role of corporate sector. So that existence and inspirable link between the commerce and society. Companies being a part of society as legal person, they need to be discharged their social obligation to protect the right of application of various stakeholders such as stakeholders, employees obligations and legalistics in their transitions to be good corporate citizens. So the evolution of globalization, development in science and technology, number of political, social, economical, cultural and legal aspects lead to corporate house to expand their business beyond borders in their competitive quest for the supremacy and the expansion of trade and business houses. There is very possibility that there may be relegate to secondary position of their legal obligation towards society and a number of stakeholders, especially in a protecting the right of the employees. So there are some principles of the role of corporate sector. The first one is the businesses should support and respect the protection of international human rights within their spheres of influence. After that, making sure their own corporation are not complexity in human rights abuses. Third one is businesses should uphold the freedom of associations and effective recognition of the right to collective bargaining of labor. Very important. After that, the eliminations of all forms of forced and compulsory labors. After that, the effective abolitions of child labor and and after that, the eliminations of discrimination in respect of employment and occupation. There are 10 principles. After that, business should support a approach to environmental challenges. After that, undertaking initiative to promote greater environment responsibility and encourage the development and diffusion of environmental friendly technologies. And the last one is businesses should work against corruption in all its form, including the extortions and bribes. Okay. So, India has a long tradition of involvement of business in social welfare and other development promotional aspects of the governance in the country. In 2012, the Ministry of Corporation Affairs of the Government of India adopted a set of principles. They also adopted a set of principles. So, the first one is business should conduct the conduct and govern themselves with ethics, transparency, accountability. After that, the business should provide goods and services that are safe and contribute and to sustainability throughout their life cycle. After that, business should promote the well-being of all employees. After that, business should respect the interest of and be responsive towards all stakeholders, especially through who are disadvantaged and migrants. Okay. After that, the business should respect and promote human rights. Business should respect, protect, and make effort to restore the environment. And business, when engaged in influencing public and regulating policy, should not do so in a responsible manner. Business should support inclusive growth and equitability development. And the last one is business should engage with and provide value to their customers and customers in responsible manners. So these are the principle which was adopted by our Indian government in 2011, okay, by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs of the government of India. Okay, students, the 9 principle were adopted. Now the last one is the NGOs. Very main in all round development of our state and people, and its capacity to development plays a vital role. Capacity development impulses strategic planning with the focused attention of state in very every sector, especially education and health sector, which plays a vital role for the development of state and in the promotion of human rights. In case of individuals, capacity building imparts the process of development and knowledge about the rights and obligation. Capacity building, in other words, empowering the people to secure the way and means to guaranteed rights, imposing a responsibility on state to enhance its capacity to meet the requirements of the people. Many a times, for varied reasons, states fail to live up the expectations of the people, which ultimately creates a vacuum. So, as an offshoot of to fill the gap to achieve the capacity building concept, non-governmental organizations come to existence. They mainly prevailed upon government to fill the gap and demand for the strategic priority, which with a focus to enable the disadvantaged sections of the society to reach and able to enjoy the guaranteed rights. So the non-governmental organization plays also vital role in local and regional and national and up to the international promotion, protection, and realization of human rights. Okay, students, they have a long tradition to take part in the promotional aspects of human rights. So this type of organization mainly work for human development, humanity aspects and aspects of environment. They may work either directly or indirectly. Some of organizations are specially in a particular area. They work to enrich the area and demand for the implementation of existence international treaties or being in pressure on the nation states and international organization to draft new regulation on their specific area. Many times they choose to bring pressure through international forums on the government for the implementation of international human rights legal regulations at domestic level. So it is a positive thing for us. So in a national level, they are always in the forefront to bring in desired reforms to prevent abuse in any area. Okay, students. So the increasing roles of NGOs is a welcome feature. So however, they need to be adopt transparent method in their strategy and handling governments without restoring to corruption and other abuse practices. They any deviations in the motto not only cripples the motive but also lose the confidence of the people and the states. So students, this is what about the role of advocacy groups, which we have discussed the whole thing, the media, the role of lawyer, educational institute, role of corporation sector, NGOs. Okay. So students, we have done with our fourth unit. Okay. So students, we have done with our fourth unit. So thank you students and all the best.